So I want to try to not share so much from God consciousness, but just really investigate the essence of intense emotions in the nervous system, like anger, shame, guilt, fear, just to really bridge the gap in between hell and heaven. So if you're experiencing really intense contractions, may it be the abandonment wound, the neglect wound, the fear wound, like anything that takes you out of the present moment, because all that ever is, and again, just try my best to not share from the bliss. When there's no point to say anything, but anyways, to make this practical, so hard to not be blissed out. Okay, if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling shame, if you're feeling anger, I really encourage you to go really deep into the emotion. Like, to reach these levels of bliss and joy and excitement that I'm able to tap into right now, I have had to go through the pits of hell. I've had to let go of everything that represented security for me, like attachments to old relationships that were aspects of financial security, that were aspects of secure love, that were aspects of oh, this is safety, or like the daddy wound, oh, if I have this boyfriend or lover that takes care of me, then I'll be safe. I'll have to let go of all those things that make me feel safely safe, and it was all bullshit, to really understand that I'm always supported, I'm always safe, am I always taken care of no matter what. So it's just my bad and my deepest wound, my deepest shadows, which was feeling unsafe and trying to grasp onto safety with people and places and things. But it may be any shadow for you. It can be perhaps codependency, it can be addiction, it can be anything. It can be just this intense rage, intense anger, and you gotta feel these things. When I cut cords with all the things that represented that sense of security, I don't mean the dynamic didn't shift, I kept all the relationships and all the friendships, but from a different point of view. I wasn't placing myself in the victim position. I knew I was responsible and I can take care of myself. So it's you become your own mother and father, you become your own masculine. I feel pretty genderless. I can be in a man position, I can be in a feminine position, and that's a really good sense of empowerment. You have both energies inside of you. So don't place yourself in the victim position, but you gotta feel the pain, you gotta feel the fear, you gotta feel the anger, you gotta put yourself in your room and sit down and scream, you gotta cry yourself out, you gotta hold yourself, because these patterns are stuck in our nervous system from lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of experiencing this pain and these, it's kind of like psychosis because it's not real. The only true reality is that everything is always perfect as it is. But to reach that state of perfection and bliss and ecstasy and authenticity and joy and freedom and just there's nothing I'm scared of. The fear of rejection, gone. Fear of losing love of someone, already have been there. Fear of being broke many times. Fear of, hey, being homeless and reconstructed my life from zero. These things, when you face your deepest fear, you're free. And then all the things that are meant to be in your path come back. You get everything that you need for the next level of your expansion. But if you stay yourself in your comfort zone, really, and then try to expand from that space, then you'll never truly get to meet your empowered self. And that's your true essence, that's your true identity. The only thing that's gonna make you truly happy and ecstatic and full of joy and energy, like I am in right now, is facing your deepest fears. And sometimes that takes calling someone, relying on a coach, relying on how many programs I didn't sign up into, how many coaches I didn't hire. I had to, how many times I had to be vulnerable. There's no such thing as vulnerability, just expose yourself to the rest of yourself. But how many times I had to rely on somebody that was where I wanted to be, to really clean my system and cry and open up so I could embody the version of self that's speaking to right now. So we can't be scared of those things, reaching the ultimate level of bliss and expansion and alignment with yourself and realization. It's not all butterflies and roses. It feels like that now, but it wasn't like that. It was so hard. It was so painful. It was fuck, the moment I had to leave that 5-year relationship, I think it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. And you can read more about it in my website. I was like shaking on the closet, like crying my eyes out, like, oh my God, how the fuck am I gonna survive? Like, because the brain just goes back to you're unsafe. Like if you were in the, what was it? The dinosaur era and you're gonna be hunted by a lion, you're gonna die. Like your amygdala, your fear amygdala doesn't know the difference from like, okay, I'm good, I have my things, I have some money, I'm on an airport, I'm gonna be fine. You know, it's like I'm gonna die. So I had to go through all the fears, all the major fears, to realize that fear doesn't exist. But that's the only way you can free yourself from fear. And fear can be any form of anger, shame, angst, what else? Grief. No, grief is actually good. It's good to grieve. It's not. And right now I can tell you that the suffering I experience is 1%. It's like I can feel pain, but I don't suffer. It's just like, okay, I feel the pain, whoo, it's gone. And to reach that level of bliss and freedom that nothing scares you because the pain goes right away and you don't have to suffer, you must look at your shit. You must look at the things that seem the most difficult. The things that you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do if I quit my job? Like, oh my God, what am I gonna do if I leave my 20 years long spouse? I'm not encouraging you to do that, but if it's something that is making you unhappy, why would you contract yourself? What am I gonna do if I finally express myself authentically online? Like, I've been doing that for years, so that's not an issue, but like anything, like what would happen if I actually just invest all my money in this new coach because I think it's gonna be my next level? What happens is you just gotta put yourself out there and do the things that you're scared about because that's the only way you're gonna be truly free. So I'm just trying my best to share like my pain. I'm gonna try really, like, I'm setting the intention to use this portal, this Instagram and this channel to just share all my pain, all my suffering, all my trauma, all the things I had to go through, so you can perhaps relate more to it instead of being like, oh, you can always have what you want. It's all easy, because it's easy now, but it wasn't easy before. It was hard as fuck. It was the hardest thing I ever done in this lifetime, really. But it was so rewarding, and it's still so rewarding. You are all the archetypes. You are all the aspects. You are all abundance. Abundance is all there ever is. There's only bliss and love. But to feel the bliss and love, you gotta feel the fear. You gotta feel the pain. You gotta feel the intensity. You gotta feel the anguish. You gotta feel the separation. You gotta feel like you're dying, because you're truly dying. But what's dying is all aspects of you that are non-true. All aspects of you that are non-self. So more of your true identity, your natural state, your peace, your bliss, your love can shine through. And then nothing can stop you. Then nothing scares you, because you're free. And that for me is being rich. That for me is, it's priceless. I'd rather have this state of being than anything else in the world. No amount of money, no amount of epic romantic relationships, no amount of sexual experience, no amount of anything is worth more than this state of being. And from this state of being, everything you need and more always comes in your way, and you're always happy and fulfilled. And everything that is not relevant just drops from your field. And then you can do whatever you want, as long as you don't hurt anybody, right? Within the laws of integrity and respect. But you're free. You are free. So let me know in the comments, are you ready to feel your anger? Are you ready to face your biggest fear? Are you ready to feel your abandonment, your uncertainty? Your uncertainty is actually the best place to be. It's so exciting. But it wasn't like that before. You gotta make the unknown your new normal. Because when you live in the non-linear, you live in the frequency of miracles. And every single moment of your life is so miraculous. So what are you not facing? What are you scared of? What is the next level of your expansion and your evolution? I love you.